Yeah, so what's going on here? This is my new drawing. I'll kind of go through it for the artist because I want to I'm going to be drawing at the same time. I'm going to be drawing something quite simple, but it is an animal cruelty drawing, but with a double meaning. I won't say what. You can see I penciled in somebody here, but it's not drawn in. Obviously, it's very dark in the sense that, there are kids being burned. And what I'm going to talk about today, just so you know it's me. What I'm going to talk about today is obviously I'm going to draw at the same time, but I'm going to, for the artist, you can watch me draw, and for people that want to just listen to what I'm saying, and then I'll talk about a few subjects. I'm going to be talking about, obviously Tan was back. Big up Tan. What a return, man. What a return. I mean, I was shocked when I saw him, but I did predict the week before I thought it was him. But what I'm going to talk about is obviously Tan's return. I'm going to talk about a situation with Kalam and Muhamed Taweed from Misguidance Avenue. In my opinion, one of the most nastiest people to ever step foot into Speaker's Corner. And before that, I'm just going to kind of just say that what's going to happen is I've got a strike on my channel, so I can't live stream. But in around a week and a half, I will be live streaming once in a while. And I hope I can get Tan on there. I'm going to try and ask him if I can get him on there. I'll need some moderators and stuff. So, if anyone wants to moderate, obviously you got my boy Hassan if he wants to. Well, I'll get him on the chat actually rather than moderating. Manny Cinder as well. But maybe people like Sarah Lipper and a few of the other guys. Like, obviously there's a couple of other people that, regular people that are comment on there. They can be my moderators. The thing is, what I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna be talking about that. Obviously there was a terrorist attack as well, so that's pretty terrible. Luckily no one was killed, but obviously we're in a very, very precarious situation at the moment, and I hope my people like Shamsi and them lot can kind of, what I say, confront some of these terrorist sympathizers on the weekend. I think the Muslim community need to confront them to show that they don't support that kind of bullshit. And the best way to do it is publicly confront these individuals, because we don't know. I'd like to know those guys' opinion, the Anjem Chowdhury supporters, what they think. So what I'm going to do at the moment, it's a quite big drawing. So I'm going to go back into the drawing. I know I'm going to keep them flipping and flopping. None of this is really drawn in. It's all very rough. I'm doing what's called like a first coat. So for any artist, I do it like in a painting where I do one coat and two coats. This is still the first coat. I've not sprayed nothing. This hasn't even been drawn on. Just so you understand what I'm doing, I mean, this is going to be a dog, and I'm going to show you how I come up with the idea. So what I normally do is, I've got a good imagination. So if you look around here, there are a lot of drawings that are from my imagination. Like the one that I finished of 1984 is here. That needs to be scanned. That one, that one, that one. Obviously that one as well. But then there's other drawings I've just copied. That one's thingy. So I'm not just somebody that likes to just copy pictures. I prefer to create rather than just copy. But what I do is, I've got a good imagination, so I want to do a drawing that, it's one of my first drawings that is like a dual. I'll put, but before I go on, I'll put a timestamp underneath if people don't want to listen to all this. So what I do is, like, I have an idea, and one of my idea for this was an animal cruelty drawing, and another meaning, which I'm not going to say at the moment. It's one of my first dual meaning drawings. Now, depending on the title, whatever I give the title will mean that's the first choice in terms of what the meaning is. So if it's an animal cruelty title, it'll be an animal cruelty drawing, and secondly, whatever else it is. So people can try and guess. So I had a pretty good idea. You'd have a mother giving a kid, you can see here, very rough, water or milk, and she's holding a baby. She's in a kitchen, and there's ovens with a baby in. So this is supposed to be a baby, and a little girl crying, and then she's in the oven. And so you can see that's all it was, and that was my initial, what I call, kind of brainstorming in my head, what I had a vision in my head. Then what I do is I then do another sketch where I start to let's say flesh out stuff. So you can see it's a little bit more clearer now. Now you can see the boy a bit more, and I added a girl here. So and the baby you can see here, and the kid, and certain things have changed a little bit. You know, I've now got a store here, and what I do once I've got this, then what I do is I start going for pictures, start looking on things. So right now I'm going to be drawing a store. So I've got a store here, and you can see here there's a face of a kid, and I'm going to be drawing a face of a kid. And so I start to research as a microwave. A microwave is going to be in the back here. And so I get reference photos that match what was in my head. And then I just merge hundreds of pictures kind of together. There's no point trying to draw something from imagination like a microwave, because you know you're going to get it wrong. So do it, just get a picture and draw the microwave from that. So here I fleshed it out a little bit more, and then what I then did is a third draft, and this draft is much more complex in terms of the final drawing, and I changed the perspective. So I pushed down, so this is for the artist, I've pushed the drawing down so it's more dynamic and there's more of a perspective, so it looks, because I like going for perspectives. Like if you look at my astronaut drawing, you can see there's a big perspective. If you look at that one, there's a perspective. It just gives it more oomph. And so I added a dog in, and all of this kind of stuff. And obviously the girl has been put in and more clarified. And then obviously once that's done, I then go on to the final picture, and I start to draw everything in. And you can see here it's all penciled out. And although it's penciled, things may change. I do tweak things as I go along. So right now, I think I added a few things and changed things as they've gone along. Now the dog needs to be drawn in. What I'm going to draw now is a stall. And in front of me, I don't know if you can see it, because I think it is a stall. And I'm just going to... It's not exactly the same as what's there, because I didn't like the design. But I'm kind of using the top of it as a thing. I can zoom in and stuff. And so... what I'll do now is I'll talk about a couple of subject matters. Before I go on and talk about what I said I was going to talk about, I'm going to address something. And this is aimed at people that haven't got a sense of humour, seem to be butthurt over comments, and cannot comprehend that, there is such a thing as kind of, dark humour. Like, my sense of humour is very dark. And so you have people like, oh, Rod, why are you so thingy? Why are you making fun of this? I don't care whether you're upset about me making fun of something. If something sounds stupid, I'll make fun of it. Yeah, it's my natural reaction. I'm not purposely trying to insult anyone. Just to give you an example of my kind of sense of humour, so you understand how dark my sense of humour is. Some of my favourite comedies are like League of Gentlemen. Watch that and you'll understand how dark that is. Then you have comedies such as Peep Show, Love Peep Show, The Office, Alan Partridge, Seinfeld, and Curb Your Enthusiasm, Red Dwarf. All of these comedies have something in common, which is that they're kind of dark comedies. Yeah, they're not your normal comedies. I love cringe humor and stuff like that, and people kind of, the comedies that are not seeing. And so I'm going to mention a particular YouTuber. He was somebody that supported me. His name is Your Brother, and you might have seen him in the comments. And the other day, he insulted me on a live chat. And yeah, I'm not taking that kind of bullshit. You want to start insulting me? Yeah, I'm not somebody that takes... I don't care if you're Sikh, whatever you are. I've always said it. I don't give a shit what faith you are, where you're from. If you start talking shit to me, yeah, you're gonna get both barrels. And one of the things is that this so-called Your Brother thinks he's like some kind of peace envoy for the world. That he's going to solve the world peace through YouTube. Now, the people on YouTube are complete pricks, most of them, on the comments. You're not going to make no difference. All of these people that comment on my thingy, he thinks he's going to make a difference about, if you be nice to them, if you appease them, they're not going to say nothing. Now, one of the things is that somebody else has said to me as well, and he said this on a comment as well, which I find despicable, is that through my actions, I'm going to get people hurt in the Sikh community. Now, I'm going to say something to you. Shut up, yeah? The only person that's going to get hurt is me. Yeah, I have to walk around by myself. I haven't got a crew or nothing. I'm a lone wolf. I walk in a Muslim area. I walk all over the place by myself. I go to Speaker's Corner by myself. My address has been put online. People know who I am. People know where I live. People know exactly where I am on a Sunday. So if anyone's going to get hurt, it's me. So stop being a pussy. Yeah, I'm not just talking to this one individual. I'm talking about people in general. Stop being pussies. Yeah, and stop worrying about what might happen. Yeah. Stop worrying about what might happen. And words, another thing is you have Sikhs going, oh, because of you, they're insulting our religion. Oh, big deal. You know, there's a couple of words on YouTube, and if your faith is so weak that a couple of words here is going to offend you that much, then you're not in the right faith. Yeah, and this is why Islam has such a big problem, because they are so they're kind of they're so insecure that a couple of words will make them bleed. Yeah, I don't want to say they will start wetting their panties. Yeah, it's unbelievable, and some Sikhs are becoming like this as well, and it's a complete travesty because the internet cannot be controlled. You will hear things and see things that you cannot control. So don't tell me to shut up because you're worried about your own safety. Yeah, the only person whose safety is on the line is mine. Yeah, anybody that attacks a Sikh because of me, that's not my because of something I've said on YouTube. That is not my responsibility. That is the responsibility of the person who's attacked them. They are mentally unhinged. So don't put that kind of bullshit responsibility on my head. Yeah, I'm not being quiet because you're a pussy. Yeah, and that's as simple as that. So obviously I've said my piece against that. Like I said, words. If words can affect you that much, because I've had people say, oh, that person said this about Sikhism because you was on the camera talking about this. Shut up, you idiot. So someone says a word and you're losing sleep over it. You're using sleep over it. Let me tell you something, yeah. Whether I say something or not, these people are still thinking this. Do you understand? The fact that they're writing it doesn't mean I forced them to write it. It means that's what they truly think. You go Speaker's Corner, and the biggest insults here do not come from anybody else apart from Muslims. In the terms of when they're critiquing someone else's religion, they will ridicule it. I mean, you listen to how they describe. I mean, I've heard Muslims talk about Jesus Christ, and they say, oh, so Jesus Christ goes to a toilet and he's going poo poo. And they're laughing their heads off. To a Christian, that is very offensive. But you don't see Christians bitching and whining. Then you hear how they talk about Hinduism. This is why no Hindu goes Speaker's Corner. They ridicule Hinduism. I mean, I've heard some of the worst kind of ridicules about Hinduism, about the gods and stuff, and the Hindu gods. When I talk about reincarnation, what did I say? Oh, you're going to come back as a... what, you're going to come back as a rat? As this? As that? And they start laughing and stuff. So isn't that ridicule? So when I make a joke, like one of my favourite jokes now, a zakum, which is a fruit that they feed you to burn you inside, which God made to burn you, it's ridiculous. So I make fun of it. Grow up and just deal with it. So I will make fun of it. If you don't like it, just don't listen to my videos, because I'm not suppressing my sense of humour because people are getting butthurt over words. Alright, so let's go over to the next thing. I had my little rant. So what I'm doing is obviously the little kid needs to still be put in there. She's been burnt, poor child, poor baby as well. The baby doesn't even know what's going on. And the mother's just being all loving to these children, but look what she's doing to these children. A mother's love. Alright, so what we're going to talk about is Tan. Big up Tan. Tan's returned. And what a freaking entrance, man. Oh my god. I went in there and people were saying, oh, your boyfriend's here. I'm like, what boyfriend? Not that I'm gay, but I'm not. A lot of people my boyfriend. They say Hassan's my boyfriend. And so I was like, all right, who? And then suddenly they said Tan. I said, no way. Looked over and there's little Tan. Not little, but he's big in heart, man. Freaking heck, man. That guy. I mean, if anyone, what you don't understand is like the mental strength you need to go through that amount of hassle is on another level of strength in terms of your mindset. There's physical strength and then there's mental strength. And I've been through just a little bit of what he has to go through, and damn, it is difficult mentally to keep your calm and to not react to a lot of people shouting and screaming. And he has it like a million times worse than me. Now, one of the things is that when I went there, I was like nobody now. I'm like Raj and nobody at Speaker's Corner. I was walking around, no one was recognizing me, no one was like trying to hassle me. I was like, what's going on? Who could have done this? Who could have usurped me for the most hated man? And guess who it was? Tan. So what it is, yeah, I'm like a dimmi now. You know, like in under Islam, they have like second class citizenship. I'm a dimmi at Speaker's Corner now because Tan is like the Muslim. He's the first class citizen with all the rights, and I'm a dimmi. So now I know how it feels to be a second class citizen because I've used to be first class citizen there, the most hated man, and now Tan has taken over, and so I'll refer to myself as a Dimmi. I don't mind because I'm an apostle of Tan. Tan is the man. People say, "Are you a fan of Tan?" I am actually a fan of Tan. I'm sorry, I can't help it, man. That guy is a beast. And now what I'll say is this: I do not agree with his views. Yeah, all of his views. And I will say that straight. And if you read the description of myself on his website, he states on there that Raj is always disagreeing with me. And but the thing that unites me with him is that I'm a free speech absolutist, and I believe he has a right to speak. Even though some of the stuff I do find a bit offensive, I'm not gonna lie. Like when he's written on there, Allah is gay, because I believe in God. Allah is still the word of, it still means God. So my gut reaction, I can't help it. Just my natural reaction is to be offended. Sorry to gay people and stuff. I don't mean it like that. It's just, it is. I'm just being truthful because, I have my own kind of religious beliefs, and when I hear it, I'm just like, oh my God, Tan, what are you doing? And I can understand, if you was to replace that with, like the name of what I call God, I will be offended. Yeah, I can't help it because I believe in God. So in terms of that, I don't agree with him doing that in the sense that I'm not going to support him and say, "Oh, great, Tan, for doing that." But I support his right to do it. Yeah, and I have a right to be offended as well by him doing it. We just need to all grow a tougher skin and understand that words should not have that kind of impact on you. And the thing is, for the Muslim community, you make Tan. Yeah, the way you follow him about and the way you kind of worship him is on another level of madness. I mean, you watch the clips here of him being unveiled, and you would think that the second coming of Christ has come. And most of the people following him about were Muslims. It is. I mean, that Saeed Ali Diva's little lapdog done a live stream, and he had it for once. He had it right. It was ridiculous. Like, he was criticizing the Muslims for following him, and I was like, "You're right, man." I mean, it's ridiculous how he's being followed about. It just looks mad. Like you're feeding into him, man. But they can't help themselves because Tan is such a force of nature that he's going to be impossible to ignore. I don't know what's going to happen. I hope to God that we can keep him safe, and that he manages to kind of keep safe. I'll try and I'd love to get him on a live stream when I start live streaming. Tell me at the bottom as well about live streaming. If people want to do live, if they want me to do live, if they don't, if there's only like 5 people, I'm not going to do it. It's pointless. It's going to waste my time. So what I'm doing now is, obviously, I put a bit of charcoal on for the thingy, and now I'm just blending it. I'm just doing a rough coat. All right, so let's go on to the next topic. So big up Tan. Tan is the man. Tan is the real deal. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, he'll be forever remembered in Speaker's Corner as somebody that pushed the boundaries of what was acceptable in terms of free speech. I don't think anybody else has got to his level. Yeah, and he's a nice guy when you chat to him. I know it's hard for Muslims to talk to him because he does kind of. He says, I don't know. Well, he says he hates all Muslims. So what can I say? And I can understand why Muslims hate him because. Yeah, he is in their face. There's no doubt about that. All right, so we'll go on to Kalam now, and that freaking Muhamed Taweed from Misguidance Avenue. Remember, I call him Misguidance Avenue, not Guidance Avenue, because he's misguiding so many Muslims. And that guy is a nasty piece of work, man. One of the most nastiest people I've ever met. Obviously, he was trying to bully me into going. No way, man. You can't bully me. You're mad. This ain't Sharia. You're crazy. Yeah, that's my new saying now. I just think it's Sharia, and it's true. They act like they're under Sharia, like they can tell me what to do, and they're like going in front of me. Oh, you can't record, but that person can record. No, this is Speaker's Corner. I can say what I want. Now the thing is that although I criticise him, I say he's a nasty piece of work. I think people like Ali Dawa and them are just as bad. The reason why I say that is because at least with people like Muhamed Taweed, they just say it the way they believe. They're not sugarcoating it. And in a way, whether I can respect that to a certain degree, because I know where I stand with you. Then we know we hate each other. We know there's no ifs and buts. And I do hate the guy. I think he's dangerous. I think he's dangerous because he's using his he has got a good way of communicating, and he is an intelligent guy. There's no doubt about it. I'm not going to say he's not, and he's using that for bad. He's using that to corrupt the minds of the youth, and it's dangerous. He's somebody that can create a new the next terrorist and stuff, and so he is dangerous in my opinion. I said I'll go with a mosque with him. Yeah, I will. I mean, some people don't like that. Why not? Let me see what he's doing, man. I'll check the drawers and stuff just to double check what's in there. Might find something. Um, so I can hate someone, I can dislike them, but I can still talk to them if I feel that they are not bullshitting me. Yeah, just tell me what you think. Like Ali Diva, uh, that freaking nutcase, um, told me he doesn't know what Sharia is. Like I was asking a question about Sharia about the death penalty. He's, oh, I don't know. So that's obviously lying. What I'm using now, yeah, is where's my pen? What the hell's going on? Oh, sorry. This particular charcoal, I've not used this in front of you lot before. This is for metal objects. It's charcoal, but in a pure kind of stick form. And the reason I use this is good for reflective objects. It kind of has a different, this is for the artist, it has a different texture to this. And so obviously I have different types of charcoal pencils. Each one doing something different, and I got one in that, and each one has a different texture for some reason. I'm not going to explain why. Actually, that was way too up then. Yeah, so what I'm doing, so if you look, I'm going to the art bit. Sorry, I'm not jumped. So if you look here, I'm actually using this for the metal parts because it tends to have more shine to it than the normal pencil. So you can see here, I'm just going to be thinking. And so, yeah, so what happens is they kind of cornered Callum like they did with me. Remember, he did that thing where he was calling me a snake. And he's old, you're a snake, you're a snake. It's so boring now, that snake thing. Think of something new, for God's sakes. You know, I mean, it's been 8 months you've been calling some people snakes. They were trying to force me away. I was like, no, I'm not moving. You're crazy. Like, in fact, when you told me to move, yeah, I'm going to give some people advice. I'm going to say something to you, look. If you ever want me, yeah, to be stubborn, I wasn't even going to stay there if I'm being honest. The only reason I stayed, do you know why? Because it told me to move. And I was like, screw it, I'm standing here. I'm not going to move until the whole conversation ends. So you made me stay there. Otherwise, I would have walked off because I wasn't that interested in the beginning. I was recording a bit and I was going to stay for 5 minutes and I had something else to do. So yeah, so they tried to move me off. Then you had all this tirade against Callum being a snake and being this and being that. And Callum's a cool dude, man. Yeah, like he's a nice guy. Yeah. Some people don't get on with him. I think a lot of people don't get on with people like Callum and Sarah and Big Bro and what's his name, Gary and them lot because they're kind of very intelligent black men who are not bamboozled by this stupid kind of like narrative that Muslims use about all this kind of like black the slave trade, Atlantic slave trade to kind of manipulate uh, black people into kind of hating the West and then going to Islam. I've seen that a lot. And so they use that as a way of going, oh, the West is terrible, so Christianity must be terrible, so Islam isn't. Well, the biggest slave trade was actually the Arab slave trade as well, and it was, in my opinion, just as barbaric. There was no, both of them were evil. So they're scared of people like Sarah and them lot because they cannot manipulate these guys. Yeah, and they know that they will lose black converts. Yeah, when black people listen to these guys, they will lose converts, and for them it's numbers. Remember, they're in a numbers game. They just want shahadas. Yeah, Taweed said that on there. He just wants to get people converted. So they hate people like this because they know every time Sarah and them lot and Kalam and them lot open their mouths, and because they're so calm and articulate, uh, they can't beat them that way. So the only way to beat them is to slander them and threaten them and stuff, and try and humiliate them. And one of the things that he did on that day, which I believe was unacceptable, uh, he can say what he wants, but when you call a man out and say, "Oh, you ain't black, my T-shirt's blacker than you," that is pure disrespect. Yeah, you're not just disrespecting a man, you're disrespecting his race, you're disrespecting his people. And in my opinion, like, it's freedom of speech, fair enough. Yeah, let people hear what he says. I'm glad people heard what he said because it shows you the nastiness of that guy. But what I found kind of shocking was the people around him. There were black people standing there. Big up to the couple that were at the front who confronted them and said no. And there was a lady and a guy, and they refused for him to say it. They said no, and they confronted him on that. But other people were giggling and laughing and stuff like that. And it's like, hold on a second. Hold on. This guy is ridiculing this guy's race. He's saying he's not black. Who determines who's black? Yeah. And I don't care what the meaning behind it was. It was unacceptable to say that, and for people to kind of like stand there and like accept that's a normal thing to say, and say, "Oh yeah, it's cool, it's cool." Like for me, it's like if I was for me, it's like if I'm a Sikh guy, I'm wearing my turban, and then I'm in a crowd having a discussion or a heated debate or speak with somebody, and the guy then says something about my turban, yeah, like my clothing is better than your turban, blah blah blah, or I'm more of a Sikh because I got this freaking I don't know, this sock on because blah, whatever it is, and then the Sikhs in the audience laughing about it. That would infuriate me, man. I mean, you don't have to stand up for me. You don't have to do anything. Like, just shut your mouth. Yeah, just shut your mouth, because if you start to laugh and stuff, to me, what you're saying is that you agree with that person, and you find it humorous that they're making fun of that. And that's how I saw it when it come to the Kalam situation. If you look right at the front, there's this black guy. I don't know whether he's Somalian or whatever, and he was laughing his head off. And I was just looking at him like, what are you laughing about, man? This guy is ridiculing this guy, saying his shirt is blacker than his shirt is more blacker than Callum in terms of his race and stuff. Really, 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 really sickening. I'm glad it was caught on camera, because sometimes, we need to see these things. This is the beauty of free speech as well. This is the thing. Some people say, "Oh, you can't." No, no. Let them talk. Yeah, let people talk and dig their own graves. And this is the greatness of freedom of speech, because you can hear people's true nastiness kind of spew out. And with Muhamed Taweed, there's no shortage of nastiness, man. Like, damn, that guy is on another level of what I call hate. I mean, I don't know where the hate comes from, what's happened in his life. I know he's half English in terms of ethnicity, and his dad was Muslim. Why he hates the West so much and hates kuffar. I mean, when he talks about Muslims and non-Muslims, you can really hear the hatred for the kuffar that he sees. Yeah, to us, we are just like nothing. We're like rats to him, and that's no different from what you'd say the Nazi ideology, where you had people from the Nazis who were Nazi party who saw non-Aryans as rats, as non-human, Untermenschen, and they see us as kuffars. Well, not all Muslims, but this guy and his ideology sees us as kuffars. And if Sharia was ever implemented, we'd be under the boot of that bullshit. Jizya, all called jizya bullshit. It's the worst tax in the world, man. God's sake, people expect me to like, oh, what a lovely tax. No, I don't care. It's shit, and it's terrible, and I will not accept it. Yeah, get rid of that stuff, man. Tax is nothing to do with religion, so you don't start going, oh, it's about my religion. No, you can get rid of it. It's just a tax. Yeah, so yeah, I'll just kind of draw now for a few minutes. And like I said, in terms of the live stream and stuff, let's do a live stream. Hopefully, I can try and get Tan on there and a few other people. I'll get Hassan on there as well, and all of these people, and see what we can chat about. If people got a particular topic they might want me to discuss for the first time, then tell me. All right, so what I'll do now is I'll just kind of draw now. And this is for the artist. Let's give the artist a little bit of thingy. So as you can see, what I'm doing now is I'll just basically drawn in um, the chair. It's not overly complicated. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't even thinking when I was drawing. I'm not trying to sound arrogant. I'm just telling the truth. I'm just switched off. I'm actually holding this and drawing at the same time, and I was talking, and I wasn't even really looking at the paper. I was just like, because what it's actually a very simple thing to draw anyway. Thingy. When I draw something like, obviously, when I do the dog, and this still needs to be refined quite a lot, and then the little girl in there, and then you got the mother. Now I want people to try and guess what the secondary meaning. Obviously, this is an animal cruelty drawing, but it's also a separate meaning. Why is the mother giving milk to the child and giving that child an apple and rewarding them, but she's chucking these kids in the oven? And this one's helping the little nasty little cow. Um, yeah, so uh, tell me what you think about that. Oh, the other thing is, oh my god, Sarah dropped a bombshell on the live stream, on Jedi's live stream. Yeah, that was a great live stream. Big up to that live stream. I really liked that one. That was one of my funnest live streams. I wasn't on there the whole time, but I was listening to it for the end. And he dropped the bombshell. Yeah, I don't know if this is true. He said Muhammad Hijab is gay. Yeah, and like he, you know, what can I say? I don't disbelieve it, if I'm being honest with you, because Muhammad, there's a lot of Muslims that are very, let's say, pro Sharia and all that kind of stuff, that want the death penalty for sins about homosexuality and stuff like that they perceive to be need to be punishable by death, but secretly they have that within their heart, and that's one way to deflect from their own, let's say, their own kind of desires, to show, oh, I support this, and so I cannot be this. Yeah, I cannot be gay because blah blah blah. I don't know if he is, and I don't really care, to be honest with you, in the sense that if you're gay, God will decide if that's right. But I do have I do have this disdain for people that condemn homosexuality and say they need to burn in hell and should be executed under Sharia, but then are homosexual themselves, and I think that's sick. I'm not saying that's Muhammad Hijab. I'm just talking about there has been cases of, so many cases of like these evangelical preachers and all these kind of Muslim guys, and they can, supporting Sharia, but or some kind of form of death penalty, but the homosexuals themselves, which is a freaking completely disgusting thing, because even someone like Paul, I like Paul. I think Paul's a cool guy. He's doing a great job. But his stance on homosexuality, I mean, he's homosexual himself, but his stance on the Sharia is very insane, in my opinion. Oh, the other person I forgot to talk about was little Ahmed Ali. Uh, I don't know what to do about Ahmed Ali. We spoke again off camera, and he's adamant that, I'm slandering Islam. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, because the thing is, I've got my own opinions, and I want to talk to him because I think he's an interesting person. But I can't, just agree with it with you. If you're listening, Ahmed Ali, I can't just agree with you if I have my own interpretation. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my own viewpoint. And so we had a chat, and obviously he called me a puppy again. You're a puppy. A puppy means puppy. So I'm not sure what to do with Ahmed Ali. People say to me, "Why do I want to talk to him, dude? He's funny. He's a good guy to talk to. You know, I'm gonna say something. I like strange people. The stranger you are, the more I want to chat to you. And Ahmed Ali is as strange as they get. So I want to talk to him. So I can't help it. You know, I've been pestering people like Zachariah and them, not because Zachary is a complete lunatic, but he doesn't allow me to talk to him. I want to talk to him because he's crazy, that dude. He's probably the number 10 on craziness, but he's never allowed me to speak to him. All right, so I think that's enough about Speaker's Corner. And like, about this Muhammad Hijab being gay, I don't know if it's true, but I wouldn't say it's not. I mean, there's so many cases of people being ultra religious, and then they found out that they're homosexual or they're this or they're that, and I wouldn't put it past them. Um, you know, and people can say I'm slandering. I'm not slandering. I didn't say he was. I said that's what was said. I'm just reporting the news like a reporter. Yeah, you can't hold me accountable. I'm like CNN. I'm just reporting the news. Yeah, I'm just reporting what happened. I'm not saying whether it's true or not, but I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Ali Diva is as well, and little Saeed, all of them. Saeed, he's probably the one that turned him gay. What? And that little Saeed's a nasty piece of work, though. I'm not gonna lie, he's a nasty piece of work. Yeah, and on the speaker's corner, I will be. I'm gonna try and go every week because Tan's it. I can't miss the Tan kind of incidents. I'm gonna try and make it every week if I can because he's only here for 2 months, I think. Let's try and find him a wife, though. Come on, everybody. Let's try and find him a wife. Sarah Lipper, will you marry him? Let's get him onto the thingy. Sarah Lipper, try and marry him. We'll get him a British passport and let's keep him in the country. Because I think he's, whether you like him or not, he is somebody that is a unique person. That's somebody that you can't ignore, man. We need people like that in the country that have got guts. Whether you agree with him or not, the guy's got balls of steel. There's no doubt about that. Anyway, I think I'm rambling enough, so you can see what's going on. What a nasty piece of work this girl is. What she's doing to that poor little baby. I'm gonna probably put a smile on the face because right now it looks like it's resigned to its fate. But I might put a smile on this one here. Not sure what I'm gonna do yet. I have to put some stuff on there and the mother's gonna look so wholesome, so loving, compassionate, and merciful. Who does that sound like? The mother is so merciful, loving, compassionate, and forgiving. Yeah, who does that sound like? But puts the kids in ovens and rewards some kids, but puts some into ovens. What does that sound like to you? It is definitely an animal cruelty drawing as well. So don't just say I'm doing it for one reason. I think people will probably figure it out now. Well, anyway, like I said, I'm just gonna finish this drawing off. I will be scanning this drawing of 1984's hair, and so hopefully I can get it up onto the net. And because there's been a lot of kind of people like Alex Jones, and I don't agree with Alex Jones, he's a nutcase, but a lot of people deplatformed and stuff for their views, and I think this drawing is very appropriate because of that at the moment. You can see, all of these organisations trying to suppress free speech. Well, anyway, take care. I'll be back at Speaker's Corner on Sunday, and let's see how much mayhem ensues with Tan coming back. And I will be a Dimmi, a second-class citizen under Tan's regime. He is the first-class citizen. I am a Dimmi now. Anyway, take care. Bye.